thing I should mention is I just took the outer layer of the tree. This won't kill the tree despite what some people think. And I also chose a tree that looks like it's dying as it is. Make some cordage from the dog mane. That's the first thing.
You now have the moon, and so put it where the moon is relative to Earth is the sun.
Where do you think it is?
Right about there. That's about the right distance. That is way off. Okay. 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 Just start backing up.
Yeah. And
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Turn around while you're going.
Keep going. That's about right. Yeah. That's about the Earth-Moon distance. Yeah. You know why? You've been lied to by textbooks that have to squeeze them both into the same page. You now have the moon.
So you live with your dad, and your girlfriend asked to move in with you two.
Parents really don't like her that much. Me personally, I have a specific type. I like them goth girls, and them goth girls are packed full of red flags. So those red flags turn into green flags for me.
How long you been dating?
6, 7, 8, 9 months now, give or take.
So you're doing this.
She's moving in.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Okay, let's commit to it. I mean, what's the dynamic going to be like? Who's cooking meals?
For context, I'm half Chinese, I'm half American. She's full white, and she's way more Asian than I am. She's got ramen bowl to eat noodles for a living. I'm over here like, damn, I just got out of work at 7 o'clock. Where's my steak and curly fries at? She's like, yeah, I just made some ramen. I got you some sushi here as well. Man, get that out of here. I can only be Chinese on Tuesdays and Sundays.
So unfortunately, I stepped on my fucking glasses today.
Welcome to another episode of Keeping Skaters Rollin'. Today, I was at La Puente Skate Park when me and my friends seen this little bro with a beat-up skateboard. So I decided to hook him up with an extra skate buddy complete I had in my trunk.
All complete, man.
Then he told me to break his old one, which was pretty funny.
You won't be needing this no more? Nope.
So I tossed the old one in the garbage, and now it's time for bro to learn some tricks. Thanks for watching.
You're bi.
I'm not bi.
Oh. I think you're bi.
Yeah, I'm not bi. I'm not bi.
All right.
Yeah. Why?
You're drunk bi.
Drunk bi.
Okay, drunk
No,
bi.
wait, but let me ask you something, right? Let me ask you, is bisexual this, okay? If in high school, when I was younger, I did suck a couple of PPs, right, while I was drunk, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't want to be doing it. I would rather have vagina, right? But they weren't available. They didn't like me. Right? So I went to the second best source. Was pee-pee.
Yeah, it's a little bit of like, well, McDonald's is closed. Let's kill a...
You see this man hacking apart this giant fish on the side of the road? Well, that's a pretty normal sight here in Bali. Except for one thing. That fish is special. It's a marlin, caught earlier that day by a local fisherman who didn't even have a fishing rod. Instead, he reeled it in with his bare hand. Just like in Ernest Hemingway's famous book, The Old Man and the Sea. Except this marlin was torn apart by humans, rather than by sharks. Speaking of which, at the local market, this apex predator is worth around an entire month's salary. Anyways, this is another fishing boat with a different marlin from just a few days ago. As you can see, these fish are massive. They're also extremely rare. A fisherman may only get one opportunity in his entire life to catch one, which is exactly what's going through my head at this very moment, because there's a massive marlin right in front of me. In the past, I've wondered if I'd even want to spear one of these big, beautiful animals. But in this moment, I don't even hesitate. After all, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Oh, Ernest Hemingway would be so disappointed.
Russia has now lost half of its major tanks in the war against Ukraine. These tanks are mostly T-72s with 50-year-old Soviet technology, while Ukraine has been crowdsourcing modern tanks from the West. But why Russia cannot sustain these losses in the long run? For one, Russia has been losing heavy equipment at a
Splitting maul. No handle, no good. I've been saving this 36-inch long piece of ash specifically for a job like this. We've moved on to our number 5 here now, and I'm using that to round over the edges. I'm using the draw knife here just to narrow the end so it fits into the head. There we go. I'm just going to drive in a wedge to make sure it doesn't come back out. The next thing we're going to do is fire up the blowtorch here below me, grab our handle, and we're just going to do a process that's known as charring the whole way along it. What next? Only a visit from Lindsay Doyle, so hopefully now there'll be enough left in this bottle. Work in that oil while the handle is still hot so it can soak right deep into the wood. So next I'm just using some steel wool here, and that removes kind of the outer layer of carbon and gives it a nice shine. So I'm fairly happy with how that looks. We're going to give her a quick sharpen here now, and then we're going to take her out for a spin. So we've got a wood there now. It's already split, we have nothing full, but anyway. Magic. Good luck. Splitting mom.
After she found out her mom, there was a study that came out 2 years ago that asked, why do we quit? You know, if you say,
when President Biden looks into the microphone and says, pay your fair share, what does that mean?
It means that
Crazy history facts you won't learn anywhere else. Part 8. In the ancient Persian Empire, men used to debate ideas twice, once sober and once drunk, because the idea had to sound good in both states in order to be considered a good idea. During wartime, some armies would wipe poop on their spears, so that when they stabbed or slashed enemies, they'd also get infected and die. Talk about a crappy way to go. In 1879, cats were used to deliver mail in Belgium. It was a catastrophic failure. In ancient Egypt, the pharaoh would periodically masturbate into the Nile as a ritual of sorts to guarantee good harvests. Tutankhamun in the river. It used to be thought that blowing smoke up someone's ass was a way to revive them. Some swimming pools actually had a kit with a bellows-type device.
This is the bow of Odysseus, king of Ithaca, the man who strings it and shoots him.
Scenes that actors completely improvised. In Stranger Things 11 was... These movie bloopers were too good to cut. In the MCU, Robert Downey Jr. plays Tony Stark, and he's always drinking or eating something in every scene. Well, this actually isn't scripted. Robert Downey Jr. would sneak snacks so much behind the scenes that the directors couldn't do anything to stop him, so they just incorporated it into his character. So every scene in the movie where you see him snacking, it's actually improvised. In the movie The Martian, Donald Glover was so nervous to film his first scene that he ended up doing this.
Are you alright? It's fine.
Well, this wasn't in the script, and he actually slipped and fell.
this is my favorite jar of pufferfish.
The Analog Pocket is an absolutely great piece of technology that they released, playing all of your favorite Game Boy games. The downside is...
Did you know that during the filming of 2014 action comedy film Kingsman,
This 110-year-old ship was just found near Antarctica, and it's one of the world's most well-preserved vessels to date. It belonged to explorer Ernest Shackleton, who got the ship stuck in the Weddell Sea's thick ice. Everyone on board abandoned the ship before it sank. The captain kept records of where he thought the shipwreck might be, and according
Is there gold in Home Depot sand? Finney and I decided to test it out, and the results were crazy. No way. No way. That's stupid. I've seen other videos saying there is gold in the sand, but we had to check for ourselves. We bought one bag of sand to test through our high banker at home. And yes, I'm wearing Scooby Christmas pajamas. I didn't feel like adulting. Finney prepped the sand to run it through the high banker and declared. And he started feeding the sand into the high banker. His favorite thing to do. I mean, what 3-year-old doesn't like to dig with a shovel in sand and water? And honestly, what adult doesn't like to play with a shovel in sand and water? I mean, it's a lot of fun. Finney kept on feeding the sand into the sluice box. Find out in part 2.
when 9/11 happened, there was someone present watching it, witnessed it, unfortunately, you know, how traumatic that would have been. And his name was Gerard Way. Do you know who that is?
No.
So it was a guy who was trying to deal with this, going to his therapist, and started creating music and came up with a band called My Chemical Romance.
Oh
right?
my gosh.
And then there's a...
For as long as I've known they've existed, I've always wanted to try one of these stainless steel burn barrels. A company called Brightburn Products sent me one to review, so let's get into it. First things first, it's got...
In Japan, I had no idea that they had made the sarcophagus covers in Japan that were exactly the same shape as the ones they made in Egypt.
So a viewer from up the country sent me their grandfather's saw to
Crazy facts about history's world leaders. Part 23. Idi Amin. The Ugandan dictator had so many bodies thrown to the crocodiles in the Nile that they became so fat and lazy that they stopped eating them.
time to do that. Need time to do that.
We'll see how well.
I'm not ready yet.
was once a farmer lived in the muck, sowed a sacred field to change his luck. Never once asked the land its blessing. Oh, nature's wrath was quite distressing. From his seed sprouted dust and hunger, beast and root tore his house asunder. So it is even now we must bleed to right the wrong of that farmer's greed. I'm not ready yet. Out of energy. Ready yet. I'm not ready yet.
That's not bad. Microphone was messing up.
I'm not ready
I said. Alright. Jesus. So yeah, I was just saying hi. Long time no see. Microphone's been cutting out on me. Let's see if it still stays working. I can try to turn it down some. Or just talk louder. But usually, yeah, Diablo is loud. Oh yeah. So what you been up to? You still gaming? You still playing games? What you been playing?
Well done. I'm not ready yet.
Oh, nice. Black Desert.
I'm not ready yet. Need more time. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet.
But yeah, I've been like hopping around, playing whatever, to be honest. Yeah, it took a little bit, a couple weeks or so, and just relaxed a bit. I was still gaming, I just didn't feel like I just didn't want to stream every single night. So I was like, I'm just gonna still game and just kind of like not worry about streaming sometimes. Because streaming's really fun, but you obviously you can't like, you just gotta watch what you're doing. You can't be watch what other people are saying and everything else. So it's just a lot sometimes. So it's just like sometimes you just don't care about anything. You want to just like game. Yeah, it was good. Oops. I need a legendary item I can break down. Shit, I couldn't get out of the way. Sometimes you get stun locked, you can't dodge or anything. And that knockdown that the big goat dude does is pretty fatal.
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet.